Chapter 54. Gandhi. An eye for an eye only ends up making the whole world blind. Gandhi. I was ready for my next trip into the past. I already went into the past to visit Pythagoras, Jesus Christ, and Martin Luther King. I found their cards and their numbers. Now it was time to go back again to a period that I once lived. I was going back in time to find the card of one of the people I've admired the most, Mahatma Gandhi. Coco and Kika then arrived at the screening room. "Hello, Sebastian," Coco greeted me. "Hello to both of you," I said. "Are you ready for your trip?" Coco asked. "Yes, I am ready to find the card that Gandhi played for the light in this game between the light and the darkness," I confided. "Sebastian, you will have to bring the card of the man who said, 'God is that indefinable something which we all feel, but we do not know. God is the source of light and life, and yet he is above and beyond all these. God transcends speech and reason. He is the greatest democrat the world knows, and the greatest tyrant ever known. We are not. He alone is," Kika said. "Yes, I know Gandhi was more inclined to spirituality than religion, but I want to find out more about him," I noted. "Then let your journey begin," Coco said. I walked into the screen and found myself flying into the 19th century. The day was October 2nd, 1869. I quickly added the numbers. 1, 2, 1, 8, 6, 9 equals 27. 27, 2, 7 equals 9. Gandhi was a birth number 9, which predicts a smooth life with a lot of beginnings and a lot of endings. I was in Porbandar, a coastal town on the Kathiawar Peninsula in Gujarat, northwest India. Gandhi was born into a privileged caste. At one time, his father was chief minister of Porbandar. His mother was very religious and influenced young Gandhi with the Jainistic pacifist teachings of mutual tolerance and non-injury to all living things. She was also a vegetarian. Gandhi received an excellent education according to his caste, but he was not a brilliant student. I can see now young Gandhi at age 13 getting married to Kasturba Mukherjee, aged 11. The marriage was the product of an arrangement of their respective parents, as was customary in India. Gandhi continued his studies and went to Samaldis College at the University of Bombay. In 1888, when Gandhi was 18, Kasturba gave birth to the first of their 4 children. This same year, Gandhi, following his parents' wishes, went to London to become a lawyer. He was accepted at the University College of London and studied law and jurisprudence. His main intention was to become a barrister. While in London, Gandhi joined the Vegetarian Society. Some of the vegetarians he met were members of the Theosophical Society, founded in 1875 by Madame Blavatsky. He became friends with some of the members of the society, and together they read the Bhagavad Gita. And for the first time in his life, Gandhi became interested in religion. In June 1891, Gandhi was called to the bar and became a lawyer. He moved back to India and learned that his mother had died and that his father had kept the news from him. In the beginning, Gandhi felt a sense of disorientation in India. He failed to establish a law practice in Bombay, and then he decided to return to Rajkot, but he was not happy there. Finally, in 1893, he accepted a job from an Indian firm to a post in the colony of Natal, South Africa, then a part of the British Empire. Gandhi was 24 when he arrived in South Africa. His main task was to work as a legal representative to the Muslim Indian traders based in the city of Pretoria. What was going to be a year-long contract became a period of 21 years in South Africa, where he developed his political views and leadership skills. I can see Gandhi asking himself, "What do I need to do now? How can I combine my beliefs with other people's feelings?" As part of his mother's inheritance, Jainism strongly influenced Gandhi. Jainism is a very ancient religion from India that teaches the way to liberation and bliss is to live lives of harmlessness and renunciation. The essence of Jainism is a concern for the welfare of every being in the universe and for the health of the universe itself. Gandhi was determined to adhere to Hindu principles combined with Jainism policies. These policies included vegetarianism, avoidance of alcohol, and sexual abstinence. Hinduism and Jainism principles believed in reincarnation and seek to attain ultimate liberation, which means escaping the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, so that the individual's soul lasts forever in a state of bliss. It seems like all the cards of the light believe in an immortal soul, but I wonder why it's so difficult for people to live in peace when practically everybody thinks the same thing. However, Jainism believes that there are no gods or spiritual beings that will help human beings, which is an interesting point. Are gods here to help human beings? Right now, I don't know the answer. However, Gandhi had a profound trust in God. He once stated, "I am in the world feeling my way to the light amid the ever-evolving gloom. I often err and miscalculate. My trust is always in God, and I trust men only because I trust God. If I had no God to rely upon, I should be like Timon, a hater of my species." Gandhi was in South Africa, and his faith in God would face a test. To begin with, Gandhi faced discrimination directed to all people of color. He was thrown off a train after refusing to move from the first-class compartment. However, he protested. "Without action, you aren't going anywhere. An ounce of practice is worth more than tons of preaching." Then the next day, he received admission into his first class. On another occasion, traveling by stagecoach, he was beaten by a driver for refusing to make more room for a European passenger. Also, hotels banned him, along with many other incidents. These events were the turning point in Gandhi's life and shaped his social activism and awakened his social sense of justice. Being a witness of racism, prejudice, and injustice against Indians and blacks in South Africa, Gandhi questioned his place in society, as well as his people's standing under the British Empire. Gandhi opposed the idea that Indians should receive the treatment of black South Africans, where the rule in South Africa enforced strict segregation among all races and generated conflict among these communities. He believed that the future depends on what we do in the present, and he tried to change the present. Gandhi founded a political movement, the Natal Indian Congress, and through this movement he developed his belief in nonviolent civil protest to gain political rights and recognition. He became a leader for Indians living in South Africa and for black South Africans as well. Regarding his position, Gandhi said, "As far as my leadership, if I have it, it has not come from any seeking. It's a fruit of faithful service. A man can as little discard such leadership as he can discard the color of his skin. Moreover, since I have become an integral part of the nation, it has to keep me with all my faults and shortcomings, of some of which I am painfully conscious, and many others of which candid critics, thanks be to them, never fail to remind me." In 1915, Gandhi returned to India. He joined the Indian National Congress Party, and after taking total control of the party in 1920, he led India toward independence from Great Britain. Since his return to India, Gandhi perfected his practice of nonviolent civil disobedience still further. He made Indians aware of the British oppression, and at the same time he encouraged the oppressed to reciprocate with peaceful strikes and protests. Gandhi had a mission as he defined it himself, and he said, "I am not a visionary. I claim to be a practical idealist. The religion of nonviolence is not meant merely for the vicars and saints. It is meant for the common people as well. Nonviolence is the law of our species, as violence is the law of the brute. The spirit lies dormant in the brute, and he knows no law but that of physical might. The dignity of nonviolence requires obedience to a higher law, to the strength of the spirit. That was Gandhi's mission. Nonviolence is the first article of my faith. It is also the last article of my creed, he claimed. My mission is to teach by example and precept under severe restraint to use the matchless weapon of satyagraha, which is a direct corollary of nonviolence and truth. His mission made him struggle for the independence of India. His path was the truth, and truth is my God, Gandhi noted. He always tried to find God through the truth. But what was Gandhi's truth? He claimed that he represented no new truths, but just followed and represented the truth. He claimed to throw new light on many of an old truth. He claimed to represent no unique privilege, but only there to reinstate ancient rights. The propagation of truth and nonviolence can be done less by books than by actually living these principles. Gandhi strongly rejected Gandhiism. If Gandhiism is another name for sectarianism, it deserves to be destroyed. If I were to know after my death that what I stood for degenerated into sectarianism, I should be deeply pained. I can see Gandhi speaking to the multitudes. Gradually, the liberation of India was coming, but Gandhi wanted more than that. My mission is not merely freedom of India, though that undoubtedly engrosses practically my whole of my life and the whole of my time. However, through the realization of freedom of India, I hope to realize and carry the mission of brotherhood of man. The conception of my patriotism is nothing if it is not always, in every case, without exception, consistent with the broadest good for humanity at large. Why did the light choose Gandhi? Did Gandhi identify God with the light? I listened to him one more time as he addressed the multitudes. God has not given me the power to guide the world on a path of nonviolence. However, I have imagined that he has chosen me as his instrument for presenting nonviolence to India, for dealing with her many ills. The progress already made is great. However, much more remains to be done. I confined my experiment to India. If it succeeds, the world will accept it without effort. Will the world accept it without effort? Martin Luther King followed Gandhi's nonviolent teachings, and he succeeded, but the world did not take nonviolence that easily. Over the course of his lifetime, Gandhi was arrested 4 times. His first arrest was in South Africa in 1922, and was followed by subsequent arrests in 1930, 1933, and 1942 in India. Gandhi's apprehensions were for different reasons, ranging from disobeying authorities to waging public resistance to the British Empire. Among the punishments of his crimes, he spent a total of 7 years in prison, spread out among the separate sentences he received in conjunction for his 4 arrests. Gandhi continued following his path, as he knew the path. It is straight and narrow. It is like the edge of a sword. He rejoices to walk on it. He weeps when he slips. God's word is he who strives never perishes. He has implicit faith in that promise. Though therefore from his weakness he fails 1,000 times, he will not lose faith, but he hopes that he will see the light when the flesh has been brought under perfect subjection, as some day it must. Hope that I shall see the light? Gandhi will find the light very soon. The independence of India was very close, but his life on this earth was close to an end as well. He kept searching for the truth until the last moment of his life. As he said, "He is but a seeker of truth. He claims to have found a way to it. He claims to be making a constant effort to find it. However, he admits that he has not yet found it. To find truth completely is to realize oneself and one's destiny, in other words, to become perfect. He is painfully conscious of his imperfections, and therein lies all the strength he possesses, because it's a rare thing for a man to know his limitations. Gandhi did not favor the Western system of democracy. He wanted no division between the majority and the minority. Gandhi wanted to serve the interests of everyone and believed that Western democracy, combined with capitalism, favored only the few who owned the capital. He found in a combination of democracy and socialism, known as democratic socialism, will support the majority of the people in a developing country like India. Finally, on August 15, 1947, India gained its independence from Great Britain. Gandhi made substantial efforts to unite Indian Hindus, Muslims, and Christians, and struggled for the emancipation of the untouchables in Hindu society. Finally, to avoid a civil war in India, the British plan to partition India into Muslim Pakistan and Hindu India took place. Gandhi vehemently opposed the partition because he foresaw the problems that would result from the split. However, Gandhi's efforts to unite the opposing forces did not succeed. Subsequently, the border areas between India and the newly independent Pakistan, some 10 to 12 million people, moved from one side to another, and more than 500,000 people died in communal riots between Hindus, Muslims, and Sikhs against each other. He had no other choice but to accept the partition, and he vehemently deplored all the communal violence that was taking place all over India and Pakistan. I am only asking my countrymen in India to follow no other gospel than the gospel of self-sacrifice, which precedes every battle. Whether you belong to the school of violence or nonviolence, you will still have to go through the line of sacrifice and of discipline. I have never lost my optimism. In seemingly darkest hours, hope has burned mightily within me. I cannot kill the hope in myself. I must say I cannot give a visual demonstration to justify hope. However, there is no defeat in me. Gandhi was never defeated, but he knew that his time on earth would be over very soon. Gandhi suffered 6 known assassination attempts during the course of his life. The first one was in 1934, and the last one, the one that ended his life, took place on January 30th, 1948. Gandhi was on his way to address a prayer meeting when Nathuram Godse fired 3 bullets into his chest at point-blank range. Godse was an extreme Hindu nationalist who opposed Gandhi's nonviolence tactics and who strongly opposed the partition of India. The Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru delivered the best way to summarize Gandhi's life. The light has gone out of our lives, and there is darkness everywhere, and I do not know what to tell you or how to say it. Our beloved leader, Bapu, as we called him, the father of the nation, is no more. Perhaps I am wrong to say that. Nevertheless, we will not see him again, as we have seen him for these many years. We will not run to him for advice or seek solace from him, and that's a terrible blow, not only for me, but for millions and millions in this country. Mahatma means great soul, high spirit, and remarkable life. For the Indian people, Mahatma Gandhi was a person to be revered for his high-mindedness, wisdom, and selflessness. A great sage who has renounced further spiritual development to aid those who are less advanced. My time was over, and I was ready to return to meet the light and explain to him which one was Gandhi's card. Coco and Kika were waiting for me. "Hello, Sebastian," Kika said. "Hello to both of you," I replied. "Did you enjoy your trip?" Coco asked. "Yes, I did," I answered. "The light is waiting," Coco told me. We walked toward the light's office. As the door was open, a voice called out, "Come in, Sebastian," the light said. I walked into the light's office and took a seat. "Well, tell me about Gandhi," the light began. Gandhi's card is card number 14, the Temperance card. The Temperance card represents moderation and bringing balance to life. Another interpretation of the card may serve as a reminder that a composite between two seemingly incompatible options is often the best option. Indian nationalists turned to Gandhi to lead a campaign for full independence. However, Gandhi opted for a compromise. As the Temperance card reflects, he preferred to reach an agreement between two seemingly incompatible options as the best alternative to lead India toward its independence. Temperance is the reminder of life, accepting death as an integral part of our own experience, and never to be afraid of it. Temperance means to find a balance in life by avoiding extremes. Temperance is the teacher of truth, and as Gandhi said, "My own known experience has convinced me that there is no other God than truth. Truth is like a large tree, which yields more and more fruit the more you nurture it." This card number 14 represents a winged angel. In his hands he has 2 cups, and he transfers the essence of life from one cup to the other. The angel has 1 foot on dry land, representing the material world, and 1 foot in the water, representing the subconscious, and illustrating the nature of all the essences of life. A direct path travels through the heights, and above is the light, the meaning of the eternal life. The light of the sun symbolizes temperance in our lives when this light rules our conscience, combining our psychic and our material nature. Under this rule, we can understand with our rational part where we're coming from and where we're going. According to Pythagoras, card number 14 represents sacrifice and loss. It represents the combination of positive and negative forces in everybody's life, and the diversity of the digits and the different vibrations attached to them. Temperance indicates Gandhi's balance, patience, and moderation. He was able to take, like a Buddha, the middle way, avoiding extremes and maintaining a great sense of calm in his life. With this card, Gandhi learned to keep calm in situations of high stress and anxiety. He never allowed things to get to him, and he always found a place of peace where he could put things in perspective when situations became hectic. The Temperance card for Gandhi represented a clear, long-term vision of what he wanted to achieve. With this card, he was at peace with what he was doing, while his inner voice was guiding him to the right outcome. Gandhi was able to work and cooperate with others. He was able to join forces with other people and political parties to bring it all together. This card of temperance helped Gandhi to be patient so that he was able to act with truth and reason. For Gandhi, there was nothing to fear because it was part of the process, and without it, change could not occur. The Temperance card helped Gandhi to see both sides in an argument. How often was Gandhi exposed to this kind of discussion? Many times in his life he was in the middle of life and death arguments, and he was able to lead adversarial parties towards a middle ground. The Temperance card is the Egyptian tarot's indication that peace will never be arriving, because you already have it with you. For Gandhi, no matter how tense his struggles were or how forgettable his past may appear, the future brought him one of his dreams, the independence of India from the British Empire. Over the years, tarot readers often identify the Temperance card with abstinence. In the case of Gandhi, that applies perfectly. However, he went to the extreme, because temperance means moderation, that Gandhi, of course, achieved. You don't give up wine, but rather cut the wine with water. Temperance is not about surrendering either the water or the wine. It's about mixing things until you get exactly what you want, which is normally a perfect blend of the two. The Temperance card is the moderation message in Gandhi's life. This card gave him power. By envisioning the flowing waters of this card, we might feel the imbalance drifting away in our lives. Temperance deals with mixing the right ingredients in our lives to flow easily upon the path of our choosing. Gandhi's way was the path of nonviolence. The doctrine that has guided my life is not one of inaction, but the highest action. Passive resistance, unlike nonviolence, has no power to change men's hearts. It was not nonviolence resistance, but passive resistance, which only the weak offer because they are unable or not unwilling to offer active resistance. One must learn the art of self-defense. The weakest of us physically must be taught the art of facing dangers and giving a good account of ourselves. For him, the temperance card provided balance in major decisions, combined with the confidence that led him to high resolutions. Symbolically, the temperance card delivers strength through purity, which is what Gandhi did. He strengthened himself against harmful outside influences, for fortification and for testing himself in all the instances of his life. The final thing that I will add to this card and Gandhi is that this card gave him mediation in when to maintain harmony in his relationships with all the many people who surrounded him during his lifetime. This card encouraged him to build on tolerance and cooperation with other groups, I explained. "Excellent, Sebastian," the light said. "Thank you," I answered. "And what is the commandment that you bring us from Gandhi?" the light asked. The commandment is simple coming from Gandhi, and it is, truth is God. Truth is God. I love it. One way or another, God is truth. The only problem is, to which God are we referring? The light concluded.